Yeah, we're recording. All right, welcome back to the boardroom. This week we are doing a wonderful little micro game called Ninja Dojo Fight.
So, this game comes in a tiny little box. There's really not very many cards in it, but that's because most of the game is actually designed around thinking ahead about what your partners or what the people you're playing with have in their hand, what they could play. There's always a little bit of option for wiggle room, so there's always a little bit of room for surprise. Now, the way this works is there are 5 rounds in the game. Each round, we're each going to have 4 of these ninjutsu cards. Now, with these, they've all got a different function, but we've all got the same thing. The first one is called split bodies. When we play this one, we get to switch some weapons around. The second one is called typhoon. With this one, we draw a new weapon and discard one of our weapons. The third one is called third eye. With this one, we get to reveal a card that's face down that somebody has. And the fourth one is called charge up. And this one gives us the lightning card, which acts as a tiebreaker if 2 people choose the same card. Now, the way this is going to work is each round there are 3 turns and then there is a battle. And the way this is going to work is we each choose one ninjutsu card from our hand, play it face down, and then we all turn them over at the same time. Now you'll notice that each of these has a number on them from 1 to 4. And they're each going to resolve in that order. First 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. If there are any ties, they cancel each other out. Nothing happens. Unless, of course, someone has the lightning card, in which case theirs is going to go through while the other person doesn't. Now, after the 3 rounds, we're each going to have a bunch of weapons. And these weapons are then going to be used to battle. The premise of the game is that we're all sneaking around after dark, trying to get the best weapons we can with our ninjutsu, so that at the end of the game, with the battle, the person who's got the best weapons is the one who's going to win. After 5 of these battles, the player who has won the most is the winner. So, we're going to start this out real quick. Each player is dealt 1 face-down weapon and 1 face-up weapon.
But then you know which weapon I have.
Well, I know one of them, but I don't know the other. You are allowed to look at the one that you've got face down in front of you.
Okay.
You're not allowed to look at anyone else's. Now, for the first turn, each of us is going to look at our hand and choose one of these cards that we want to use and put it face down in front of us. Okay. So on the count of 3, we all turn over. 1, 2, 3. So, Burns chose incorrectly, and because of
very
that,
correctly.
So you 2 clash, and
Yeah.
because I put down the charge card, I take the charge card or lightning bolt.
Yep.
And that's mine until I have to use it again, and then it returns to the center of the table.
Yep. Now with these ninjutsu cards, they do stay out in front of you. You don't get to use them again for the next round, so you kind of know what people have already played. This means that you can start to anticipate what's going on. So, everyone choose your next card. One, 2, 3. Okay, so this time each of us chose a different card. First is the number 2 card. So Patrick, you get to draw a new card and then discard one of your cards to replace it with.
I will not discard a card.
Well, you still have to discard
Oh, I
this one.
still have. Yeah, well, I did. Isn't that the discard pile in the center?
Yep, but it goes face up.
Face up. Okay.
Yep. Okay. Next is me. I get to turn someone's card over. So.
Ooh.
Now we know that Patrick has 2 katanas.
I do. I have 2 katanas. Did we explain the different weapons that are in the game?
Let's do it right now.
Let's do it right now.
So, in the game, there are 5 different weapons. You've got the Ninja Star, which has a damage of 1, and there's 4 of them in the deck. Not very powerful. The only thing it can beat is a bowl of ramen. That is actually a thing in this game. The second is called the Spear. Not quite sure why it's called the Spear, since it looks like a throwing knife with a rope attached to it. But it's called the Spear.
There's an actual name for it. I don't remember what it's called, but in the rules they call it a spear.
Yep. Now that one's got a power of 2, and there are 3 of them in the deck. The number in the deck is represented by the little dots beneath the power. Next is the Katana. The Katana has got 3 power, and there are 3 of them in the deck. So this is where you're starting to get more powerful cards, because the only one that's more powerful than a Katana is... is the Master. And this one's got 4 power, and there's only 2 of them in the deck. Now, these are the 4 cards that have power normally. But there's one more card here, and that's the Bowl of Ramen. The Bowl of Ramen, there are 3 of them in the deck, and the idea is you're out all having this battle, and if the Master comes along, then he automatically wins, because he didn't want you fighting anyway. But you can buy off the Master with the Bowl of Ramen, and then he fights for you. So, if everybody else plays a Katana, and there's one Master, but you play the Bowl of Ramen in that final battle, then you win because the Master fights for you.
Huzzah!
Yeah. So that ramen can be really good, but only if there's a Master around. Otherwise, it's not worth anything.
So you really have to gauge what weapons that another player has, what weapons you have, and then what weapons could come up or be swapped around depending on the ninjutsu cards.
Exactly.
So if I had 2 masters here, I would definitely want to swap my weapons out, because Burns, when it comes to the final battle, would definitely play his ramen.
Yep. So, you went and you drew a card.
I did.
I went and I revealed one of your cards. And then Burns gets to go as number 4, and he takes the lightning card from Patrick.
What? I didn't
Thank
get to
you.
use it, though.
Well, that's unfortunate, isn't it?
It is.
So those ninjutsu cards go in front of us, and there's one more round this battle. So,
Well,
choose one of your cards, one of your remaining 2.
there might be a clash with one of the 2 that I put down. Just judging.
Mm-hmm. That's why I picked the lightning, because I knew there would be a clash, most likely.
Okay.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, there wasn't.
No clash.
Interesting.
Okay, so Patrick goes first. You get to switch 2 of the cards.
2 of my cards?
Nope. So you get to switch one of your cards with a card that somebody else has.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to swap the ramen. Since Jason has a master, I'm going to give my katana to Burns.
Okay. Next, Burns goes. He gets to draw a card.
Gotta remember what I have here. Okay.
Okay, so he's going to get rid of that spear. And then I get the lightning card.
Which doesn't factor into the final battle at all.
It does not. However, it does mean that the next round, I get this one first.
There you go.
So,
So then we take our ninjutsu cards and we just put them to the side.
Yep.
Because they will not be needed for the battle phase. My 2 cards, which were face up, just go back into my hand.
those become your new hand.
And we don't know what Burns' other weapon is, and we don't know what your other weapon is.
Correct.
Now, does this other card here that we haven't explained do anything, the Dawn card? Or does it just show the separation between piles of the deck?
It does do something.
Okay.
So, this is the draw pile.
Ah,
So, in the battle, we're each going to choose one of our cards and put it down.
okay.
Now, if there's a tie, we reveal the second one, and whoever has the highest wins. If it's still a tie, then we put one of the weapons on the draw pile, signifying that it was a total draw, nobody won. Otherwise, you keep the weapon that you won with, and it stays face up with you. So it gets taken out of the weapon pile. It doesn't get used anymore, and it's kind of your token for victory.
I see.
After 5 battles, whoever's got the most of those is the winner.
So it's essentially best out of 5 then?
Yes.
Perfect.
So at this point, we're ready for our battle. Everybody chooses one of their weapon cards.
I'm the fastest ninja. I chose first.
It's a face down.
I'm scared. I don't know if you're going to play your master card or not.
I'm more of a Visa guy myself.
Are you? Here we go. Ready? 1,
2, 3.
Aw.
Yes!
Hey.
See, I was in an interesting position there because I had a master and a ramen.
I was going to originally flip
And-
over your other card to see if it was ramen, just because I'm just like, that would be hilarious if it was.
So we would have clashed, and then you would have won on the second pick.
Yep.
Because you would have beaten my.
And the only thing I could hope was that you had a ramen. Because if you had a ramen and you had a ramen, then the second I would have won.
Yep.
But that was
And
the only
I
thing
was
could hope
hoping
for.
he was not going to play as Katana because
Yeah,
I'm just like,
spear, yeah. So now
Okay,
we discard.
Because you won, you keep the one card in front of you. The rest of them get discarded.
Yep.
We'll shuffle them all together again.
And you do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself. Thanks for watching this video. We hope you liked it. If you did, hit that like button and post a comment below. Click over here to subscribe and to follow us on social media, and click below to watch another great video.
Yeah, in this situation, Pat's really lucky because
13.
if there's a tie, usually you have to play Russian roulette.
I do like this game. It's not my favorite, but I do like it. My one complaint is that it does seem to take